What's up, guys? Today we're doing another Masters of the Universe Classics figure from Super7's latest Wave 1 line of figures, and we are going to take a look at Hawke today. So this is, depending on how you configure her, she is either the wife of Stratos, the sister of Stratos, or entirely unrelated. We'll talk about that. So she comes in the standard Classics package, the Grayskull bricks. We've got our Super7 logo on the side. We've got the 8 figures that are in the Classics line and the Filmation line on the back, as well as a brand new bio that kind of combines a lot of things together to make her fit into the Classic storyline. So let's pull her out and take a look. Alright guys, so here is our Hawke figure out of the packaging, and I figured I'd take a minute just to kind of go over this character and why she sort of comes with 2 heads that have different hairstyles. So we've got the red hair is what she comes with out of the box, and then she comes with a blonde head as well. And the reason for that is so that you can make her into 2 different characters technically. So she comes from the Filmation show where there is a character called Hawke and a character called Delora. Hawke is just an Avian warrior. She sort of goes evil, then becomes good. Nothing too special there. She's just a member of that species, that race. Delora in the cartoon is Stratos' sister, but they look pretty much the same except for their hairstyle. Hawke, their history is very convoluted depending on where you get your information from. So Delora was originally a human that was Stratos' wife in the mini-comics. She's his sister, but an Avian warrior in the cartoon. And in the Ladybird books, she is an Avian warrior with blonde hair she has no ability to fly and is Stratos' sister again. For Hawke, she is, again, just an Avian warrior. In the Mike Young Productions cartoon, she was Stratos' second in command. And then in the new Classics continuity, she is Stratos' sister. So everything's kind of convoluted. So if you don't know who she is, there's a quick rundown. So let's go over the figure real quick because she's okay. I'll say that off the bat. She's okay. I'm not blown away by this figure. I really don't have a lot of attachment to the character, and this was the figure I was looking forward to the least. And in terms of the Classics figures, the actual Collector's Choice line, it's really hard to match that competition with this figure. So, we've got the likes of Fangor and Quake and Lodar in this line, but she is very, very basic by comparison, and I think that's where my disinterest comes in. So let's do Articulation real quick because she's pretty similar to the Tila figure that I recently looked at from the Filmation line. Head can swivel. She does have some up and down, but it's very minimal, mostly because of the hair, but she can look down a little bit and then just up very, very slightly. Arms can go out and around. I mean, it's all standard Classics. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, and then rotating wrists with a hinge. She does have that same kind of crunch at the breast level that the new Tila figure has. So that's different. Legs can go out, kick pretty far forward, kick a little bit back. We have a lower thigh cut or maybe an upper knee cut, depending on how you want to describe it. Single joint at the knee, and then we've got rockers and hinges at the ankles. So she's pretty standard for a Motu Classics figure. You're not getting anything too crazy. You're not really missing anything either. Now, as far as her overall sculpt, she is obviously very, very basic. This is one of those figures where it's never been in the line before, so it's using that Filmation style look, and they kind of go with the Filmation build. So despite the fact that she's not in the Filmation line, she's very much Filmation inspired. So it's kind of simplistic and just kind of boring, really. And that's my main problem with her, is that I don't find her a very engaging design to begin with. I'm admittedly not a Stratos fan either. He's never been a character I really cared too much about. So it's going to translate into here as well. Her figure is relatively okay. I think there are a few issues in general with her, and definitely some that people have been somewhat vocal about. So we've got kind of this elongated head, and she's got a really big chin, I think, and her head seems to sit a little too high on the peg. I'm also having issues with the peg in general. When I was first playing around with her to swap the heads out, it took some doing, and I think I may have actually damaged the peg in there because I had to pull on it quite a bit. More so than I should have. I should have known to have stopped, but I haven't had to do that with these figures yet. She was the first one. It's okay, but it's just, be warned when you're taking that head off. You might actually want to heat this one up. The legs, the hips are the same style that we see with the Tila figure, and I'm not very happy with the way she looks from the back. I think there's something a little crooked there. The pegs aren't nearly as bad on this figure as they are on Tila, at least on my Tila. I know there are some out there that are supposedly better, and I think she looks better from the front, which is okay for me because I'm never going to display her backwards anyway. But just be warned, there is somewhat the same issue with the peg seems to exist on this figure. So your mileage may vary on that. It doesn't really kill the figure for me, but I've got to note that I am seeing it. She does have the typical Avion kind of helmet going on there. We've got that orange-red hair on the back with just a kind of a short hair. Now, one thing I've noticed on my figure when I'm moving her around, the hair is actually trying to separate from the helmet. So I may have to glue that back, and it could have just been not glued correctly because it's attached to the helmet. So when I kind of moved it to twist her head around, it started to pull a little bit. Again, it's not a make or break thing. I can put a drop of glue in there, and I'll be perfectly fine with it going forward. But be aware. And then she's got the Avion style wings, feathers that come off the cuffs on her arms. As far as paint on this figure goes, not tons, really. You can see it's again that Filmation style, so it's relatively simplistic. We've got some blue here on the crotch piece. We've obviously got different colors of plastic used. My main issue with this figure is that the upper and lower torso are gray plastic. You can pull that apart and you can see it's just a ball peg in there so you can see. So they had to paint the skin tones on her upper body, and they do not match the plastic used on the arms. So you've got different colors here and here, and also different colors between her chest and her face. It's not a huge deal. It's not, again, it's one of those things that it's worth noting. It doesn't particularly bug me personally, but it is something that there are definitely going to be people out there that don't like that. The rest of her is painted pretty well in terms of what is there. We've obviously got some paint on the helmet, on the lips, and she looks okay there. There is just something slightly wonky about her head sculpt in general to me. Kind of got like a Jay Leno chin going on there. And again, she's a basic figure, so I wasn't expecting to be wowed by her. But these introductions of a few slight issues are kind of bringing my enjoyment level down just a little bit. Now, as far as accessories goes, we have got 3 total. We've already talked about one, and I'll actually show it, obviously. We've got the extra head. We've got this sword, which I think is pretty nice. I don't believe this is an existing sculpt. It looks very new to me. She has got the ability to hold it in either hand. It's got kind of a coiled hilt, and then there's a lot of design on the blade itself. There doesn't really seem to be any paint. There might be a little bit of a wash on there. But other than that, it's basically just kind of silver plastic. This is the accessory that I'm going to be displaying her with, I believe. I like this simplistic look of her with the sword. Now, she also comes with I believe this is a smoke gun. And this is one of the few things in Classics, this might be the only the second thing outside of King Randor's necklace that has any kind of soft goods on it. It's got this kind of faux leather strap. And she can hold it just fine in either hands. The issue with this is that she really isn't articulated well to the point where she can hold it in any real dynamic way. So you've got very few options with how you want to display her with this gun. It's the same kind of thing as with this sword. It's very, very minimalistic. There's not a whole lot of paint on it. There's obviously a different color on the grips, but it's mostly just silver plastic. And then here she is with the quote-unquote Delora head on. So it's the same head. The only real difference is that the hair that's plugged into the back of that helmet is longer and blonde. So, and you can also see she's holding the gun here, and it's kind of wonky. So here they are next to each other, just to show you. I was going to get 2 of these, but then I realized I don't care enough about this character to display them with different heads. So the head is the same, it's just the hair. And I'm not really convinced which one I want just yet. Again, because I don't have any attachment to this character. She's not even remotely close to a favorite for me. But I think I'm probably going to end up going with the red one. All right, so overall, I think that she's basically what I expected, maybe slightly less. She does have more issues than I had expected, but I wasn't really excited about her to begin with, so it's not really ruining my day. But I'd say that, we've got the peg issues that make her legs look kind of weird from the back. We've got the hair on the red head coming out from the helmet. We've got the neck peg issue, at least on my figure. And then we've got some, obviously there are some mismatched flesh tones due to how they had to paint her. So it's kind of a mixed bag overall. She's technically okay. And, you know, for those of you out there that really like Delora or Hawke, I'm sure she'll be better for you. I just don't care about the character. So that is going to do it for this look at the Super 7 Masters of the Universe Classics Hawke / Delora figure. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, guys.